What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Members Only. Tonight, we're covering a request by one of my upper echelon members. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all my viewers, period. Now let's get right into it. Oakland in the 1960s and 70s, it wasn't just a city. It was a movie. A movie that they never turned off. Shit was popping. Now, West Oakland, 7th Street, 3 in the morning, neon lights glowing, Cadillacs bumper to bumper, the sidewalks so packed you couldn't even see the concrete. Fish fries on the corners, dice games in the alleys, hotel rooms rented by the hour, doctors, lawyers, teachers, construction workers, military men fresh off the bases, all looking for one thing, and you already know what I'm talking about. Now, the middle of all of this was the Ward brothers, Frank, John, Willie, all of them. Now, they wasn't just pimps. They were the directors of this underground theater. Now, they were the style icons, the rulers, the shot callers. Oakland never seen anything like it. When the Ward brothers pulled up, it wasn't quiet. They made sure you heard it. They made sure you saw it and felt it. Shiny Cadillacs, diamond pinky rings, platinum Rolexes, and we talking about the 60s and 70s, teller suits. Women so fine they looked like they were cut from Hollywood reels. Frank Ward, the smoothest of all time. Man, the word Mac and fat described him to the fullest. Man, they created the language for it. They put the word Mac on the map. And Frank, he was the definition. Polite, cool, sweet talking. He could walk into the room and have women ready to follow him out before he even said a word. That's just how things went. He was a man obsessed with style, changing outfits 2-3 times a day, using his woman's apartment like changing stations. You might see him in cream linen in the morning, burgundy velvet in the afternoon, and silk by nightfall. And while the clothes changed, the hustle never stopped. But Frank, he didn't arrive in Oakland as the man. He showed up in 1964 with just $32 in his pocket and a 1963 caddy that he barely owned. He started in a small San Francisco flat, slowly pulling women into his orbit one by one. Before you know it, he had an entire stable, all living together, all working 7th Street. For outsiders, it was spectacle, like a tourist attraction. For insiders, it was a business. Each woman had a quota, no cap, no excuses. The motto was simple: get money. The streets of Oakland had rules though, deadly rules. A baby didn't belong to the woman, it belonged to the pimp. A child was time wasted and money lost. Now, that's why abortion clinics in the shadows stayed busy, ran by women like Dorothy McCrae, one of Willie Ward's connects, illegal, dangerous, often deadly, but that was the game. If a woman got pregnant, she had 3 options: abort, run, or pray her pimp accepted the child, and most didn't. Diseases was another monster, the clap, of course. It ran through the woman like wildfire, but the Wards had their own black market pharmacy. Penicillin, antibiotics, whatever it took to get the woman back on the track. The machine didn't stop, not for pregnancy, not for sickness, not for anyone. Frank had so many women under his control that sometimes he forgot about them. Now, months later, he'd run into one, and she'd hand him a stack of cash that she'd been holding for him for a while. Now, that's how much control he had. The women didn't just work for him, they stayed loyal, even when he wasn't watching. But with power comes with enemies. Other pimps hated the Wards because women would straight up choose them. I mean, they would leave notes on the Wards' cars begging to switch stables. The kind of magnetic pull created jealousy everywhere. And the hate wasn't just in the streets, it was political. Because while the Ward brothers ran 7th Street, the Black Panthers were trying to run Oakland. Bobby Seale, Huey Newton, the Panthers weren't just a political movement. They were a street force, and the Panthers had no love for pimps or pushers. To them, pimps were parasites, draining the community, while the Panthers fought to uplift it. The tension exploded. The Panthers told the Ward brothers flat out, "You can't operate in our territory." And if you know the Panthers, you know that wasn't a request. The city of Oakland became a chessboard, with the Panthers and the Wards moving pieces, bumping heads and drawing lines in blood. Now that war even spilled into Hollywood. When the movie The Mac came out, an Oakland film, an Oakland classic, chaos erupted. The story about pimps and players, and everyone knew it, was inspired by the real Oakland legends like the Wards, rather Frank Ward. But the Panthers weren't about to let Hollywood glamorize the very thing that they was trying to crush. Every time the cameras rolled, bottles and chairs rained down from the rooftops. Extras were threatened. Production was stalled. It got so bad that the film producer had to sit down with Huey Newton and Bobby Seale. A deal was struck. Money started flowing directly to the Panthers. They controlled the extras, they pocketed the cash, and then they let the cameras roll. Even Hollywood had to cut checks just to keep Oakland streets quiet. Meanwhile, Frank Ward was burning himself out. He was running on cocaine, snorting, just to stay awake, always in motion. The glamorous drug of that era had a grip on him. His brothers partied too, all but one. The faster he went, the more dangerous his life became. He had women everywhere, cars everywhere, enemies everywhere. See, the rumors of his death are still debated, but of course you come to members only to hear the facts. But anyway, many said the Panthers finally took him out, eliminating a rival. And it fits the narrative, but, the truth, it was more uglier, smaller, and deadlier. Frank Ward was killed by stick-up kids. They caught him sitting in the passenger seat of a car. He was with his chick. They shot him in the head and took his jewelry. And I did hear that he had a nice diamond ring on him. But here's where the legend gets real. The Ward brothers, they had eyes everywhere. It didn't take long for the word to come back about who pulled the trigger. See, the stick-up kids, they didn't last that long. One even tried to pawn Frank's ring. That was suicide. Within days, he was dead. The streets handled it. Frank Ward's murder, it marked the end of an era. 7th Street never glowed the same again. The Cadillacs stopped lining up bumper to bumper. The sidewalks emptied. The fish fries and gambling joints faded. But the legend of the Ward brothers remained. They didn't just ran Oakland. They didn't just run Oakland's underground. They defined it. They gave the Bay Area the word Mac. Yeah, they created that word. They put their fingerprints on Hollywood. They left behind stories that still echo through the streets today. Now, Frank Ward, he came to Oakland with $32 in his pocket and a Cadillac. And he left as a legend, written in blood, diamonds, and silk suits. His rise and his fall, it's more than just a story. It's the history of Oakland's underground. A reminder of a time when the streets were bigger than politics, bigger than Hollywood, of course. And the only rule that mattered was simple: get money. Shout out to all my viewers. Shout out to the upper echelon members. Shout out to all my day ones. Don't forget, keep the requests coming. I'm doing them one by one. Eventually they're gonna come, so just keep hitting me with them. But anyway, get the likes up, subscribe, hit the comments, get involved, don't be a stranger. Head over to the Patreon for exclusive work. Don't forget to become an upper echelon member. Go on to members22.com to check out the merchandise. And y'all be safe out there. Y'all take it easy. I'm out.